Well, good morning, folks. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot. I'm back with you again with the second of this week's reviews. This time we're in Flight Simulator 2020. So where are we? We're in Malaysia, in the state of Kedah, and this is Sultan Abdul Halim Airport in Alor, Setar in Malaysia. Whiskey Mike Kilo Alpha. This is a payware scenery from developer Shadescene. Now, it's been out for a bit of a while. But they've made an update to version 1.1, and this version 1.1 you're looking at for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. The scenery is also available for Flight Sim 2024. The download comes in at 94 meg and it installs at 343 meg, so it's not vast, but as you can see it looks quite nice from this shot. It's early morning, it's 8 AM, I thought I'd change the time. And it's a lovely little scenery. It's currently available from SimMarket, AnyBuild and the FlightSim.to website. I'll give you the SimMarket price, which is the best one I can find at the moment, and it includes tax. So it's €10.79, which equates to roughly $12.72 US, or £9.36 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro price, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which may vary depending on your country of purchase. So straight away, I know this developer. I've reviewed a few of his products over time. It's nice. The developer has a good sort of knowledge of how to develop sceneries, and Malaysian airports generally are quite colourful, as you can see from this image here. And I think, to be honest, straight away he's done quite a good job. But we'll get more into that later. For the moment, let's look at features. Okay, so features. We have custom terraforming, and that's certainly evident when you look at the scenery from this kind of height and look around it generally. They've got custom scenery objects for the terminal, hangar and more. The Air Force and Special Operation Air Base is also included. Moderate terminal interior details, which probably means they've done a little bit of work inside, but we're not looking at anything phenomenal. Hand-placed taxiways and runway lighting system, taxiway center, taxiway's edge, runway lighting, etc. It's all been done. Full day and night lighting, handcrafted ground markings and textures. And he also adds at the end here the airlines and destinations. You've got AirAsia, Malaysia Airlines, MAS Wings, Batik Air and Firefly, and one or two others that operate into and out of this airport. As I said, there is a custom GSX profile available for users of that utility, which I am, and I will put the link to that in the description below. Okay, let's look at some history. Okay, history for you then. The Sultan Abdul Halim Airport, Whiskey Mike Kilo Alpha, is a public military use airport owned by Khazanah Nasional Berhad and operated by Malaysian Airport Holdings Berhad. Berhad, I think, means limited. The airport's located in Kepala Batas in the province of Kedah in Malaysia. It serves the city of Alor Setar and the state of Perlis. It is the second largest airport in northern Peninsula Malaysia after Penang International Airport. The airport is located approximately 9.3 miles or 15 kilometers northeast of the city of Alor Setar and has a capacity to handle of up to 800,000 passengers a year. Opened in 1929, it is the second oldest airport in Malaysia, following Taiping Airport. The airport's new terminal, which became operational in May of 2006, was designed to accommodate future growth in passenger traffic. The terminal can handle larger aircraft such as the Airbus A330 following the extension of the runway from its original length of 6,440 feet or 1,963 meters to its current length of 9,006 feet or 2,745 meters. In 2009, Sultan Abdul Halim Airport processed over 421,000 passengers and recorded over 24,000 aircraft movements. The Royal Malaysian Air Force Training Division is also located at the airport, and you can see that there in the far image there just below the sun on the other side of the runway. Currently 4 airlines serve the airport: AirAsia, Batik Air Malaysia, Firefly and the national carrier Malaysian Airlines. So there's a short history for you. Let's have a look at this runway and the navigational aids and see how close it is to the real thing. So runways, so I've lowered the lighting just before dawn. It's just 10:07 in the morning local time, and let's have a look at the runway situation here. So Sultan Abdul Halim Airport operates a single runway 2204 measuring 9,006 feet or 2,745 meters and is constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of just 14 feet or 4.2 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 8 hours time zone. Now Malaysia does not observe daylight saving time or DST, and with the UK currently on summertime, we've moved forward 1 hour. The airport is now 7 hours ahead of the UK. So we're looking down the throat of runway 04. Now there are special rules here for this runway use. We'll go into them in a minute. So runway 04 features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system. It's got an obstacle free zone, and you've got precision approach path indicators on both sides of the runway. This extremely long approach lighting system is also marked on the chart, so that's absolutely correct. Let's just get a bit closer for the moment. So there we are, a little bit closer. You can see the runway there, the high intensity lighting is there. We've got this turning area as well, and the approach lighting system is all correct as per the charts. Options for approaches here. This is the only end with a standard instrument landing system. You've got Y and Z options with that. They also have an RNP approach option and a VOR approach option, again both with Y and Z options. The VOR has a 13 DME arc option attached to that approach. So let's have a look at the other end, runway 22. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 22 and everything is correct. Now why is there no PAPIs and why is there nothing else showing there? Basically because runway 22 is takeoffs only and runway 04 is landings only. So when you take off on runway 22, and when you land it's runway 04. Landings on 22 are restricted to military aircraft. So basically here's the military base, and they taxi straight onto the runway and they're allowed to take off on runway 22. And yeah, so that's the basic rule there. So takeoffs on runway 22 only and landings on runway 04. The military are allowed to land on 22 but nobody else is. It's military operations only. So there we go. That's all correct. Nothing much else to say about the runway situation here. It's all indeed as it should be. So let's move on to jetways. The airport does have a couple of jetways. Let's run the usual jetway test. Okay, so jetways, we're on stand 2 here. It's the middle of the day, and yeah, let's give this jetway a test and see if it reaches the aircraft. We've actually spawned directly from the menu, and as you can see from this shot, we're on the centre line, but we're actually way ahead of the actual Airbus position. There on the floor you can see A320 marker along with the A321 marker. However, let's position back and have a look and see whether the jetway connects. Okay, here we go. So the jetway head is turned, the wheels are facing the right way, and it hasn't even reached the aircraft. So the jetway doesn't seem to work there. Let's try a different stand. Okay, so the second test, I've actually moved the aircraft onto stand 1. Again, I've spawned directly from the menu, and as you can see this time we're actually on the correct marker. I've also installed the GSX profile that's available on flightsim.to, and we'll see whether this jetway actually works. Okay, so we're in position. Let's give the jetway a go and see whether it connects. So this looks hopeful. The stairs are okay, going into the concrete, but the wheels are moving the right way. So that looks like a good connection, certainly much better than the other one. The hood's gone through the skin, but we'll have a look at that. And also we've got the stairway here ever so slightly going into the concrete, which is perfectly normal. Let's get a close-up look. So there you can see the jetway is connected to the aircraft, and you can see there also the hood has gone through the skin, which happens a lot in many sceneries, but I'm not complaining. The animation's perfectly acceptable, to be honest. Let's have a look from the other side. So once again, that looks pretty good, and again you've got the this side of the jetway has gone ever so slightly through the skin as well. There's a good chance actually we won't see that in the flight deck, but we'll have a look. For the moment, let's go inside the jetway door and see what sort of space we've got. Okay, so here we are inside the jetway head, and you've got the door open, and the door's okay, it's swung open, it's not interfering with the hood. And the jetway's pretty much close up to the aircraft. There's a slight gap here, but it's not perfect, but it's okay. Once again, the doors here are closed, even though the jetway's connected. I really would love developers to design their custom jetways so that the doors are open when they're connected to the aircraft and closed when the jetway is moved away. So there's a view looking at the other side, and there you can see this. The hood has gone through the skin. Let's have a look from inside the aircraft. So there's a view looking out from inside the aircraft, perfectly normal. It's not a bad connection, it's okay. It's just a pity with the doors closed. If you use GSX, you can't really, you've got to see passengers walking through the door, which is unfortunate. There you can see the hood has gone through the skin of the aircraft into the front seating area. And here we are in the flight deck, and as you can see, the outer skin was penetrated as seen from the outside, but it hasn't actually gone into the flight deck, so that's fair enough. Okay, so that was looking inside the aircraft and looking at the head of the jetway. Here is the jetway looking from the outside, and it looks pretty good. So let's disconnect it. There we go, the motion looks pretty good, the wheels are in the right direction. And that's quite nice. So it would appear, to be honest, that basically if you have the GSX and the profile loaded, jetways tend to work better. But yeah, there we go. So that was a jetway test. Let's get down to the airport proper now and have a bit of an exploration here and see what version 1.1 has given us. Okay, so welcome back. I've moved the day up to 8 AM now. I thought we would do the tour of the airport during the day, but maybe during the early morning because the light looks good. First thoughts are this location looks quite nice. The terraforming certainly has worked. The airport looks really quite nice in this situation. So let's move southwest along here and have a look. I particularly like the way this is all done here. You've got the foliage here. There's the highway. And this very interesting sort of intricate taxiway system. That looks really quite impressive, to be honest. But the terrain looks wonderful. Let's just speed up a bit. There you can see the airport fence line to the right hand side. And I just particularly like the foliage. I mean, this is the sort of airport that rivals flights in 2024. There you got the tower. We've just passed the fire station. There's the main ramp, and I mean the colours are wonderful. And there you can see the fence line and the little airside road that goes right past, and this just looks very, very nice. There you got the windsock, and we come across the runway, and you've got the ILS equipment there to the left. And as you can see, there's buildings and parts of the city in the distance, and there the PAPI installation there too. There's the VOR station below us, And here you've got the taxiway here. Again, faithfully recreated. Developers done a great job. And we're going down towards the Royal Malaysian Air Force apron. And here you can see the training aircraft, all faithfully recreated and positioned. It's very nice. Along with the hangars. And I particularly like the way the concrete tiles look. I'm assuming they're based on the real airport. But loads of training aircraft there, so you know, take your choice. Very nice indeed. Okay, so let's get a close-up look at the ramp here. And I like this. It's a very colourful little airport here. It really, really is nice. I like the way it's all been done. The concrete tiling looks very realistic. Plenty of clutter, all looks pretty much okay. Can't see any problems there, to be honest. And there you can see this wonderful building, full of colour and full of design, and to be honest, typical of this part of the world. Beautiful. And there you've got various bits of clutter, and airside is all fully 3D modelled and textured. Really is nothing left to photo ground here. It does look good. And there you can see various bits of equipment. There's the airside road. And there we are looking down the airside road, and as you can see, the developer's gone for static models rather than items that move along down the road. But I think it looks really quite nice. So there's ground access to one of the gates. The arrivals hall, you go straight in through there. It looks lovely. I like this. And there we are looking down the other end of the road. And as you can see from the left side there seems to be some internal modelling airside. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And just another shot there showing you how it looks on the apron, which I think looks pretty nice, to be honest. So just a close-up look at stand 2. I don't know if it's me, but it looks as though... No, the markings are probably further back. And there you've got this lovely ornate building, and there you can see also the fence line. This is all correct, crank neck with razor wire, so this is airside. And you've got these gates. And you've got a VDGS system. Not sure if it works. It's not mentioned in the features, so it'd be interesting to see if that actually works. There's a sign on top of the airport roof, and I just, don't you just love this colour? So we just move along airside, have a look at the control tower, see what's been done, if anything. Again, the building is very ornate, it's typical of this part of the world. And, I mean, visually it looks great on the outside. So let's pop inside. Okay, so here we are inside, obviously no internal modelling, but the tower itself looks pretty impressive from the outside. So there it is seen from the outside. On the land side you've got the fence there to the right side. Very, very nice, no problem at all with that. And just a close-up of the fire tenders themselves. Very nice models, and as you can see the front and back of the building are open, so they can go in and out pretty quickly. So I just wanted a quick look at the edge of the fence line here on the airport. I'm particularly impressed by the way this looks. It's almost Flight Sim 2024 visuality. You've got the grass here, which is really nice. The fence line's been properly modelled. There's the crank neck that's supposed to face outward, but it looks as though some of them are facing inwards. It's supposed to face the other way to prevent people putting ladders on them. But look at the foliage. I mean, this little area looks typically wild, as you might expect to find it in the real world, and I just think it looks very nice. As ever, a quick view from the flight deck at the early morning. This is the view you'll get when you look out of the front window. A view from the captain's side, and looking through the first officer's window. Okay, let's go into the building, and we're going to go through this entrance here, see where it leads us. Because we can see that it's open, we can see there's an escalator there to the right. So let's just go in through this and see where we are. So there you can see signage on the left hand side, all really good, even close up. There you've got entry doors to landside, I believe. And there's our stairwell, or escalator. Beautifully modelled, all looks crisp, and I mean it's lovely. I love the floor. So let's go up, see if we can what we can find. Here we are at the top of the stairwell, complete with fire extinguisher. I mean, it looks good, doesn't it? And once again, we've got exit and exit doors from the terminal. So we'll go through these doors and look and see what's done airside, if anything. So having had a quick look, I can tell you the escalator area, and this is the only bit of airside modelling in this part of the building. There's no other airside lounge as such. So once again, while we're still airside, here's this rather ornate little building, complete with the air conditioning unit on the outside. There's the fence line, and you've got an access gate as well. Here, just a quick look inside this building, and this is the limit of the modelling that they've done. Okay, so let's cross to landside. And we'll just have a look at this building and the landside area generally first. And as you can see, a lot of detail. All the cars there look to be in their slots. The landside car park looks excellent. And again, the foliage of the trees, the fauna, plays a significant part in how good this looks. So there you've got the entrance road, and there's the airport sign, and you've got that rather nice sculpture. So let's follow this landside road up towards the terminal and see what we've got. And there you can see various airfield gates. And here we are landside on what I believe would be departures. So it looks pretty straightforward, nothing to write home about. And this is landside arrivals on the lower side. So as you can see, basic interior modelling landside, nothing really has been done. So to be honest, I'm quite a little bit confused when it says that moderate terminal interior details. I think the only thing we seem to have got so far is that escalator airside. And again, nothing on the upper level. So quickly nip across the car park, let's have a look at this sculpture structure that stands in front of the airport. Once again, the foliage, the way it's placed and the way it looks, really makes this airport. It's very nice indeed. So here's this really unique structure, which I think looks lovely. There's the airport approach road, Selamat Datang. The only thing I know about that, it means welcome, because I have been to Malaysia many years ago, and yeah, I just think it looks good. It really does. And another quick look across landside there. Okay, so that was a look across the airport during the daytime. Let's bring it down to dusk now and see what the lighting looks like. Okay, it's 7:15 in the evening. The lights came on about 2 minutes ago, and this is the view from airside looking towards landside and the terminal. Lovely sunset there. There we are looking north towards the military area and looking towards the southwest. Once again, a quick look from the flight deck to see what it looks like. As you can see, some of the vehicles are lit and there's some subtle lighting here and there. There is also a bit of subtle lighting on the terminal there, I think, which adds to the ambience. The airport sign is lit also, which is good. Looking out through the captain's window and looking out through the first officer's window. And once again, a couple of shots around the main ramp so you can see what it looks like at dusk. I think it looks great. The concrete texture is really good. There you can see the lights on the baggage lift, baggage loaders. They're reflecting into the concrete, which is quite impressive. There's a closer look at the terminal. You've got this lovely view into airside. It's a pity the rest of the terminal hasn't been done to any extent. But I mean, that looks good. And you've even got the red light on top of this airside sign here too. And there's a view looking back across the stand. I mean, that looks great, doesn't it? And look, even the pedestrian sign there is really clear and easy to read up close. And you've got this wonderful lighting system here. And nice to see some lighting inside the jetways as well. So let's have a look at some taxiway signage. As you can see, we've got blue airfield edge lights. We also have green centerline lights over there. The signs are on plinths, which looks really good. And there you can see the exit from the runway, taxiway Juliet, on with the signage either side, all properly lit. And there's a view looking back towards the terminal, and you know, the lighting is lovely. It's done a nice job with the lighting, no question about that at all. So there's a view looking northeast with the airside part of the stand, my aircraft sitting there, and you can see the rest of the building there, which looks pretty good, to be honest. There's landside. Car park is nicely lit. I can't see any Asobo globes floating around, which is another plus. And once again, you've got this lovely, beautifully lit sign and structure out landside here as well. Once again, look, all proper street lamps, no Asobo globes even this far out. This is what I like to see. And a final look back across the airport from landside, from the northern side there looking south. Okay, so that was the airport at dusk. Let's turn it down to night time now. Okay, it's 10:30 in the evening local time, and as you can see, the lighting's come off a little bit and we're in the darkness. The nights get really dark in Malaysia. Having been there, I can tell you they're black, very, very black night. And as you can see, that is also reflected here in the scenery. So we're looking north, got the military training area in the distance there, and to the south. And by the looks of it, plenty of things for you to explore off airport should you wish to. So a quick look in from the flight deck. Not an awful lot of difference from dusk, but it does look quite impressive. The lighting is really good wherever you look. And if you choose to fly in here in the darkness hours, this is the view you will get. View from the captain's side. Nice to see the red lights on top of the jetways as well. And the view out from the first officer's window. Once again, the ramp looks pretty good at night time. It's well lit, and you've got just wonderful ambient lighting everywhere. Have to wonder about these VDGS systems. Nothing mentioned in the features, so they're probably they're just there for show. Possibly they'll be fixed to make them working, possibly in an update. But no complaints. It looks great. There we are, looking at stand number 2. It just looks lovely. And just an overview there, looking across the fence to landside. You've got street lights that are lighting the areas correctly as they should. So just a quick look landside. The street lamps light up the road wonderfully, but as you can see by the terminal it's pretty dark. There doesn't seem to be any lighting there. Possibly that's something they could look at. The terminal needs to be a bit more alive, I suppose. But then this is kind of reflected in the price. The developers made a lovely job of the airport, but decided not to go to any further or to go to town on it. It'll be interesting to see what this looks like in Flight Sim 2024. However, there we go. Again, lovely lighting on the car park, no globes, all the light being provided by the correct source. And once again you've got this lovely entrance sculpture and sign here, beautifully lit. These are the sort of things that make these sceneries really special. I tend to forget just how nice the Far East is, especially when you get good developers that go to town like this. Okay, hasn't done the terminal interior much, but no complaints about the rest of it. It's beautifully done. Okay, just a final look across the terminal and the parking area. Let's bring the dawn up now and see what it looks like at dawn. Okay, 7:20 in the morning local time, and here's the view across the terminal with the sun behind me, and the sun's coming up, and again this beautiful colouring on the terminal is being reflected and enhanced by the time of day. This is a lovely airport. It could be a wonderful place to fly into during this time of the day. Absolutely wonderful. There we are, looking south. Looking north, you've got the military area over there in the distance, and the sun is rising over the mountains. Okay, half an hour later, 7:50 in the morning, time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts. I have some knowledge of the very first release. This is a significant improvement. There's a lot to like about this. Okay, there's a lot that's missing from what you might expect of a decent airport these days, given what can be achieved. But there is, the airport has so much going for it. It's been beautifully modelled. It's been beautifully terraformed and set into the local terrain. Visually, it's a stunning place to fly into and out of. The fauna and foliage make it look great. And of course the terminal was typically Far Eastern construction, lovely colouring. The approach road has been done as well with that sculpture and the approach sign. Lots of clutter all over the place, most of it static, well pretty much all of it static. But it looks great, it really is a lovely piece of work. Be nice to see the terminal developed a bit more, and also maybe added some taxis and some people landside. I mean, I say this about a lot of sceneries that are like this. But this is as far as the developers wanted to go, and I accept that. And what about the price? Well, certainly the price reflects that. I mean, you're looking at just under €11, just under $13 US. And remember, those prices include tax at 20%. So you're getting quite a lot for your money. I think the price is very competitive, given what's been done. It's beautifully modelled. In fact, it's all 3D modelled and textured everywhere, landside and airside, right the way down to the approach road. You get the military area as well. Okay, it's not substantial, but it's there, it's modelled, and it's recognisable. The runways are as per they should be. Navigation aids all set there. And just lots of nice work everywhere you look. I like it a lot, I really do. So there you are, folks. It's Sultan Abdul Halim Airport in Alor, Setar in Kedah province in Malaysia. Whiskey Mike Kilo Alpha. This is a payware scenery from developer Shadescene, and this is the version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020, and that's the subject of this review. There's the 2024 version available too. Download comes in at 94 meg and it installs at 343 meg. So it's not substantial in size, but I think you get a lot here. It's available from SimMarket or from AnyBuilds or FlightSim.to, depending where you like to get your sceneries. I'll give you the SimMarket price, which at the moment seems to be the best one. It's €10.79, which equates to roughly $12.72 US. Or £9.36 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on which country you live in when you make your purchase. It's a beautiful product. Okay, it's been out for a while, I know that, but I've been waiting to try and get the chance to review this and have a good look at it. And if this is what you're looking for, this particular airport, and you like to fly in Asia, you won't be disappointed. I think it's wonderful. So there you are, folks. That's the two reviews for this week. Join me next week where once again we'll be looking at a Flight Sim 2020 and a Flight Sim 2024 scenery. I do have the AnyBuilds, Heathrow and Gatwick sceneries are on my list to do. Somebody's already asked me to do that, so they will be featured as well as time goes on. Yesterday I released my 600th video. So thank you guys, all of you who have supported my channel. Those of you who have bought me copies, thank you ever so much. That's really helped, certainly with the sceneries I buy. Thanks to the vendors who very kindly send me some of those sceneries. I get about 40-50%, which is nice, but I spend the time and effort on the sceneries and bring the reviews so that you people can decide whether you want to spend your hard-earned cash and where you want to spend it. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for your support. I'm in the process of revamping my website with a new site outlook, but as ever I will be posting what reviews will be coming each week, usually on a Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon. I get that done, so if you look around Sunday afternoon UK time, you'll be able to see what's being featured in the coming week's videos. Thank you guys, my name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. I'll see you in the next video. Fly safe and take care. Bye bye now.